Straight ahead on 12 News, a community conversation to address hot-button issues involving police. Plus, a park partnership that strives to improve nature areas in Robbinsdale and Golden Valley. And how much do you spend on your pets?
Probably the biggest surprise for me is how much people spend on their dogs.
The love for animals that has helped boost business. 12 News starts right now. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. It's been in the news a lot lately, clashes between people of color and law enforcement.
Local police and other officials held a forum Sunday in Brooklyn Park to discuss race relations. As Sonia Goins reports, this was not about bashing police, but about finding a peaceful solution.
We want a better police-community relationship than we do now in this nation, and it has to start now.
The Brooklyn Park Community Activity Center was packed with plenty of powerful people.
We need to come together to find a solution.
6 police chiefs, Brooklyn Park, Brooklyn Center, and Crystal, were among the folks at the table talking about getting along better with communities of color.
We can be angry, or we can agree to work together, or we can agree not to work together.
Harding Smith is pastor of Spiritual Church of God in Robbinsdale. He also heads up Minnesota Acts Now, a nonprofit that sponsored the event.
We need to be proactive so that we don't end up being like Wisconsin and Ferguson.
Racial profiling was a hot topic during the meeting.
Brooklyn Park, a person of color, the disparity in getting pulled over, the ratio, a black person is 6 to 1.
The northwest suburbs has a growing diverse population. Some people of color say they get pulled over often for no reason.
Anywhere in the suburbs, they're gonna pull you over. I don't know why, but they do that, and that's not right. You know, I know the police officers doing their job, but when they get to pulling people over like that, it's uncalled for.
The panel also talked about lack of diversity when it comes to local police departments. The Crystal Police Chief says there are no blacks on the force, but she hopes to change that soon. But community activists say it's not just about hiring more black cops.
Sometimes even the black cops, they treat us worse than white cops because they either try to show that they belong or they're part of this whole thing.
Minnesota Acts Now says it wants more interaction and communication between police and communities of color.
What a black, white, purple. We want people that really have their heart within the community.
Sonia Goins, 12 News.
This was the first of 3 meetings scheduled. Others are planned in Minneapolis and in Richfield.
Twin Cities rental market remains hot. Case in point, look at the building going on in Maple Grove. 12 News met with one of the structural engineers for the Skye at Arbor Lakes project. Phase 1 of the luxury apartment complex is nearing completion. It features a unique 4-level parking structure that allows renters to walk right out of their apartment to their parking stall. Work will also soon begin next door on Phase 2 of the project, which will provide more than 200 additional rental units. According to the latest rent report from Zumper, the median rent in the Twin Cities for a 1-bedroom apartment is about $1,300, a 3% increase from the previous month.
Neighborhood job fairs across Hennepin County are aimed at getting people off public assistance. Job fairs like this one in Brooklyn Center are open to everyone, but Hennepin County officials say more than half who attend receive some kind of government assistance. The idea is to help them make job connections by bringing county services to the communities where they live. Most of these jobs are entry level, but an improving economy is bringing out more employers.
So we have lots of opportunities for people who have just beginning in their career or people who haven't been able to find something. They don't have maybe the bachelor's degree or associate's degree in education, but they have the opportunity to get to work at a decent wage.
Adam Johnson says the job fairs are held every few weeks somewhere in Hennepin County. Now to a difficult situation facing Wayzata schools.
The school district released more information about the death of a popular principal. As we went to air, funeral services were being held for longtime Oakwood Elementary principal Dennis Grasmick, who students know as Mr. G. In a letter provided by the district from his family, Grasmick had battled depression and took his own life. The Wayzata School District continues to help students with staff and grief counseling. In this difficult time, the Grasmick family wants to stress the importance of seeking medical help for depression. Grasmick was 61 years old.
And now to the Robbinsdale School District, where one principal will be switching to a new role. Cooper High School principal Christina Hester is leaving to become principal of the Fair School in Crystal. The Robbinsdale district is taking ownership of the Fair School pending legislative approval. Hester has been principal at Cooper for the past 2 years. Her new role will begin this summer. Improvements are on the way for more than 60 acres of parkland connecting Robbinsdale and Golden Valley.
This week, the two cities will formally enter into a partnership with the Three Rivers Park District to create a new regional park. And Delane Cleveland joins us now to explain. Delane?
Mike and Shannon, this new joint powers agreement between the three entities will essentially merge the Mary Hills and Rice Lake nature areas in Golden Valley with Sahaki Park in Robbinsdale. And it won't be long before people start seeing improvements to the area.
You know, we're talking about improving trails, both natural trails and asphalt trails. We're working on connections for the Crystal Lake Regional Trail, the future Bassett Creek Regional Trail, also connection to Theodore Wirth Grand Rounds, which is a big deal.
The improvements to Sahaki Park will happen in 3 phases. The design process for those trail improvements will begin this year with a $195,000 kickstart from Three Rivers. In the next 2 years, plans call for the new Sahaki Park to get an off-leash dog park, more paved trails, and various educational programs for kids in the surrounding area to learn about nature.
The opportunity to work with Three Rivers Park District, their staff, their board, bring their resources, partner them with ours. I really think we can come out with some amazing opportunities in the new Sahaki Park.
Something you won't see in that area are large playing fields. People who live nearby were adamant about maintaining much of the green space, and officials from the three entities say they intend to do that. Mike and Shannon?
All right, Delane, thanks. Still ahead, what surprises even the owners of local pet businesses?
And then later in sports, the Robins shoot for another championship in adapted floor hockey.
But first, cooling temperatures. The highs return a bit closer to normal March temperatures. A fitness center giant will soon have a new owner. Lifetime Fitness has been sold for more than $4 billion to private investment groups. There are 114 Lifetime Fitness centers in the U.S. and Canada, including 4 in the Northwest Metro. One of the investors is the current CEO, Bahram Akradi, who will stay on in that position. Shareholders must still approve the deal. They are called man's best friend for a reason. A new study by the American Pet Products Association estimates pet owners spent a record $58 billion last year on their furry friends. That's up almost 5% from the year before. This week's Business Matters shows us 2 local businesses who are reaping the benefits of our love of pets.
At 2 years old and just over 100 pounds, Leo is one energetic pup.
Sit.
His owner, Deb Logan, exercises him as much as possible, but she knew her long days at work
Such a good boy.
were just too long for Leo to be cooped up in the house. So she turned to a dog walking service for help.
I walk him before work and after work, but during those work days can get pretty long. So it just gives him a little release. There we go.
For $80, Anna from Pup Culture walks Leo 4 days a week. Since she opened in 2013, Anna says her business is only becoming more popular.
It's grown steadily, quite steadily since we've started.
The report says Americans are putting more money than ever into pet services. Places like Bark and Bathe in Robbinsdale.
Probably the biggest surprise for me is how much people spend on their dogs.
George Selman co-owns Bark and Bathe, a do-it-yourself or full-service dog bath and grooming business. He says business there has grown 25% in just the last year.
Every month we've added customers. There hasn't actually almost every day we add new customers.
The report says the increase in spending is because of a higher interest in pet health, a turn in the economy, and a continual, quote, humanization of pets.
They absolutely are family members.
For Bark and Bathe, George says it comes down to comfort and convenience. Washing a dog at home is far more difficult and messy, he says, than doing it here.
Nobody was on their knees on a ceramic tile floor, bending over with their abdomen squished against the edge of a tub with the dog thrashing around.
What's this?
Back at Deb's house after a good walk from Anna, Leo is finally tired. Paying for the service isn't cheap, but Deb says a calm dog when she comes home from work is priceless.
And it's not inconsequential, but it's also, like I said, it's kind of an investment of the, what you put into it is also what you get out. So I think it's well worth it.
For Business Matters, I'm Cassie Bonstrom, 12 News.
It's almost like the dogs go to the spa, just a little bit. They can relax. Coming up, Harry Potter fans cast a spell of good deeds in New Hope.
But first in sports, Champlin Park battles Apple Valley for a state championship in boys basketball. John Jacobson has a recap when we come back. Well, they went a long way with a perfect record and then one loss, but boy, that kind of hurt, didn't it?
Yeah. What a place to get it.
Yeah, they were definitely down after the game, and Phil, I'm sure they didn't have their best game, but Apple Valley's awfully good.
Yeah,
it was
good
a
team.
Championship game. Champlin Park's boys put together the best season in school history in basketball. Rebels had 31 wins in 31 games coming into the state 4A championship game, where they faced an Apple Valley team that they had beaten in a holiday tournament in December. It's a good start for the Rebels in this one. JT Gibson knocks the ball loose, and Jeremy Johnson ahead to McKinley Wright for the layup, and it's 6-2 Champlin Park. Apple Valley with some great players too. Cameron Kirksey going baseline for the big dunk. Gibson drives, he'll score high off the glass, and it's 14-7 Rebels as they get to the lane early. Marty Hill has a good game in his final high school contest, scoring 19 points to lead the Rebels. Apple Valley closes the first half strong. Trey Jones to alley-oop to Gary Trent Jr., and the Eagles are up 4 at the half. Second half, Wright gets it to Jeremy Johnson for 3 of his 15 points, and the Rebels are down 1. Good passing leads to another 3 from Hill, and Champlin Park goes in front 33-31. But Apple Valley takes over for a stretch. Trent heats up. This 3 gives them a 44-36 lead. He scores 15 points in the game. Wright with a big 3 to pull Champlin Park within 57-54, but it's not enough as Apple Valley wins 64-61. Rebels finish 31-1. In Class A, the Maranatha Christian Academy boys advance to the championship game for the second time in school history. They face top seed Rushford-Peterson for the title. Demario Armstrong with a hot hand early. His 3 gives the Mustangs a 5-3 lead. Armstrong with a steal. He'll deliver a great behind-the-back assist to Joe Jacobson for the layup, and it's 13-12 Mustangs. Rushford-Peterson returns the favor. Alex Vick steals the ball and feeds it to Kyler Paulson, and it's 23-18 Rushford-Peterson at halftime. And they'll heat up in the second half. Charlie Crambeer knocks down a 3, and it's 31-23 Trojans. Vicks has a big game with 23 points. This 3 gives Rushford-Peterson a 40-25 lead. Maranatha scrambles back into it behind Jeremiah Hansen. This 3 brings them to within 5, but that's as close as they get, and the Mustangs fall 51-44. The Robbinsdale Hopkins Mount Westaka Robins PI Division adapted floor hockey team found itself in a familiar spot Saturday afternoon. They were playing in the championship game for a 5th straight season as they met Anoka Hennepin. Second period, the Mustangs' Joey Mannion gets to the loose puck and fires a long shot in for a goal. Anoka Hennepin has a 2-1 lead in the second. It's tied at 2 in the third period, and the Robins' Andy Hansen scores there, and the Robins will lead at 3-2 at this point. Later in the game, Sean Johnson from behind the net, he'll come around, get the wraparound goal to make it 4-2 Robins. Johnson, Hansen, and Jeremy Jost were named to the all-tournament team. And Robbinsdale wins 4-3, and they capture yet another state title, their 5th in a row in floor hockey. The state girls basketball tournament tips off Tuesday at the Target Center with the Class 4A quarterfinals. After a 1-year absence, the Hopkins girls basketball team is back in the field. The Royals are the top seed in Class 4A and carry a 23-game winning streak into the tournament. And Hopkins has won each of those games by at least 10 points. They'll face Rochester Mayo out of Section 1 in the quarterfinals, a team they don't know a lot about.
I know they're really, really well coached. Rich Decker's an old school coach who preps the heck out of things, and he was on the boys' side for a number of years, taking a number of teams to the state tournament. And he's just an amazing guy. So these kids will be ready to play. They'll play extremely hard.
Hopkins won the tough Lake Conference and easily dispatched of top 10 ranked teams, Edina and Minnetonka, in the Section 6 4A tournament. This is a special team playing great ball coming into the tournament.
I feel we're playing as a team better than we have in previous years. Like, we share the ball much better, and we're more focused than we have. And we're just, overall, we're together more, and we're focusing on winning.
Being in the toughest conference, I think, really helps us get better. And we just work hard in practice. And I guess the harder we work in practice, the easier the game will be.
Hopkins and Rochester Mayo tip off at 10 a.m. Tuesday at the Target Center. The game will not be televised live, but you can catch the broadcast here on Channel 12 Wednesday morning at 10 and also at 7 p.m. That's a look at sports for today.
All right. Thanks, Sean. We'll be right back.
Well, for the last 8 years, philanthropy groups have celebrated March 15th as Good Deeds Day.
A group volunteered locally in New Hope, and if you are a Harry Potter fan, you probably would fit right in.
And if you have tickets for the 12:30, please stay in line.
Remember when the Harry Potter movies came out? People lined up all the way around the theater in 2009 to see this movie on 15 screens in Maple Grove.
Harry Potter's awesome, and we've come to every midnight showing, so we're just continuing the tradition.
This craze might have subsided, but the passion is still alive in the hearts of loyal fans and new fans.
We wanted to kind of get our name out there, who our chapter was. We wanted to do some good deeds in the community.
Erin Merrill is one of the Griffendorks, a local chapter of the Harry Potter Alliance.
They really are kind of this world's version of Dumbledore's army. They're really just trying to do better in the world and do that through fan activism.
Every great wizard in history has started out as nothing more than what we are now.
If you aren't familiar with the books, Dumbledore's army was a secret organization Harry Potter started to combat the dark arts. Here, the Griffendorks are casting their own spell of good works by helping out at Arks Value Village in New Hope.
I read the name Griffendorks and I was immediately excited. I am a Harry Potter fan myself, and anything relating to it and serving is good in our book.
Members wore Hogwarts shirts and one young muggle wore her robes.
They're a fun group, a lot of energy.
To do good in a place where on any given day, 30 to 50% of the hours worked come from volunteers.
I like being able to volunteer my time. I like to be able to show the girls there's more to this world than sitting in front of the computer. They can get out and help as well. So it feels good to help and do something for someone else.
The Griffendorks have about a dozen members, and if you are interested in joining them, you can check out their Facebook page for more volunteer opportunities. And I can tell you the passion's still out there. Since I've been tweeting about this story, I've been followed by a few Professor Snapes, a few more Harry Potter folks. So nice. They're alive and well, folks. Lots of good fun.
Very nice.
That's all the time we have for now. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Community Corner is coming up next, and we'll see you back here again tomorrow starting at 4.